Hey everybody, how are you? So if you guys have been paying attention to the news recently, you might have seen some headlines going something like this. Why Trump is about to get $3 billion richer. Trump looking at billion-dollar windfall, etc., 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 right? So, what does this mean? Is Donald Trump finally as rich as he's always lied to us about being? Let me see if I can explain this using the proper scientific and technical language. No, he is not. It is a scam. So, what is this $3 billion? For those of you that may not know, I unfortunately do because I had to make an account on this website in order to follow along with what Trump is saying there, but Trump has his own social media platform, which is essentially a cheap knockoff copy of Twitter for Nazis. Or, as is the case now, just a cheap knockoff of Twitter, because they're both basically for Nazis. Anywho, so what's going on here? Trump is putting this company up for an IPO. That's an initial public offering. It's when the stock first gets sold and is available to be sold to the people, and that's how you get sort of a valuation of the company, right? You multiply the number of shares by the amount of dollars per share, and that's how you get a valuation of the company. And with that, when we're looking at the current numbers that are being looked at for Trump Social, it's like almost $9 billion for the entire company, of which Trump, again, on paper, just on the share price, gets a $3 billion chunk, roughly, when that actually gets on the market and he's available and he's able to sell. Now, why is this a scam? Because usually there has to be some sort of connection between the price of the stock and the profitability or business success of a company. You know what I mean? That there has to be something there. Value investing, Warren Buffett type stuff. So usually there's going to be a ratio between the revenue that a company is pulling in and the valuation of its stock. A very good example is Apple, right? That's big, blue chip. There you got a ratio of 10 to 1. They pull in 300 some odd billion in revenue a year, and their valuation is 3 and change trillion with some, up and down here and there as the stock market goes. Another really good example actually is Reddit, which is another social media company, so it's right in line with Trump's Truth Social thing, and it also just went public recently, and that came out with a similar valuation to Trump's Truth Social of like 6, 7, 8, 9 billion dollars, roughly in that range. I don't recall precisely. And it also varies with the stocks. Now, Reddit was doing an annual revenue in the year before that of around $800 million. So we're looking at 800 million versus 8 billion. It's a very nice fit, right? So you would think that Trump's Truth Social, with a similar valuation, would be having similar revenue numbers. It's not. It's not 800 million. It's not 300 million. It's not 30 million. It's 3 million of total revenues with, I believe, an operating cost of something like $49 million. So they're 40 plus million in the red with total revenues of 3 million, and it's being valued like a company making almost $1 billion a year in revenue. So it is a scam. Now, why are people putting money into this at all? How is this valuation getting there? Well, one particularly interesting example is a guy named Jeff Yass. Now, Yass is a big-time rich guy, real billionaire, unlike Trump, and he happens to be a big-time investor in ByteDance, which is the company that owns TikTok, which you might have heard of as the company, the Chinese social media / spyware company that Congress was recently thinking about banning, until a certain orange someone decided to come in and nix that project. I wonder why. Maybe it had something to do with a guy that was also an owner, a partial owner, or rather investor in TikTok, throwing tons of money to Trump. Maybe it has something to do with each other. I don't know. I'm just a simple guy, not a big-time billionaire like all of them, right? So, in my stock tips for the day, do not invest in the stock ticker DJT for Trump's new social media company, unless, of course, you do want to contribute to the rise of global autocracy. If you think that's a good idea, please, go ahead. It's your money. Anywho, just want to let you guys know what was going on that. little bit of perspective, a little bit of facts. Anyway, till next time, bye-bye everyone.